Hello everybody, Omni here again with another trailer from DC Showcase from Comic-Con 2018. This time around we've got a fresh full look at Shazam. Now this is a character I'm moderately familiar with, not so much as, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and them, of course. He used to be called Captain Marvel, but here in recent years they rebranded and renamed him to Shazam. His tagline, catchphrase, the way he accesses his powers. A lot of people, at least that I knew, always thought his name was Shazam in the first place. Most people didn't know that it was Captain Marvel, and I don't think it's been stated publicly, but my best guess is this was done a while back, as Marvel Studios was coming to their rise with their cinematic universe and movies that they've been putting out and their recent success in these past couple of years, and they wanted to distance themselves from that label. Captain Marvel, and then Marvel is really big right now, and that kind of, I guess that my best guess is that didn't send a message that they wanted to be sending. So they just decided to rebrand the character. I think it started with the New 52 launch that they officially changed the the superhero's name to Shazam, because the character himself, it's a kid who named Billy Batson that is selected by, I think, the Greek pantheon or some mystical force to take on its powers. Or originally it was the powers of Captain Marvel, and now it's the powers of Shazam. Basically has the power of the gods, but he activates that by calling out the name of the force that he is the avatar for. And so whenever he yells out Shazam, he transforms into the adult superhero that we see, played by Zachary Levi in this. But he still has the personality of the child. So that's like his little interesting flair thing. Like, he is a kid in an adult body that has superpowers. It's essentially a play on that childhood dream to become a superhero, and then in this case the kid becomes the superhero. Like, he's an orphan in most of the iterations of the story. I don't think there's any iteration of it where Billy Batson isn't orphaned. He goes around between foster homes, usually with other foster children. But he, along the lines, gets access to this power and starts to fight crime. Eventually, joins the Justice League. And he used to be a character that kind of got on my nerves, but just because he was that chipper, childlike character who just kind of came off a little annoying to me, at least in my earlier years, because I just didn't appreciate it. But with DC's plunge into darkness that they've been doing with these movies, I'm hoping for some light-hearted fun, something just lighthearted and fun that they can play off of with that premise. And with that, Aquaman coming up, I'm hoping for a tonal shift in these movies, something to make them enjoyable and fun to go see, and not just trudging through to the end just out of hope that maybe they'll get one of these right. Because right now, I'd say the only one that is, I've said this before in some of my other videos, that Wonder Woman was so far the only one that's hit the mark, and even it slipped up and fell right into the same kind of problem the other movies have gone, where it just kind of degrades into a CGI punch fest at the end. and Ares looked terrible. Anyway, this isn't about any of that. I always, whenever you're talking about these DC movies, unfortunately, it's inevitable to have to talk about where they've been and hopefully the better place that they are going. But it's not about those movies. Sorry to keep going back to that. I know when you're talking about DC and their cinematic universe that it's hard to talk about where they're going without talking about where they've been. So let's go ahead and jump into this trailer for DC's Shazam, and hopefully we have something else to look forward to. And here we go.
You run from foster homes in 6 counties. I can take care of myself. When you're 18, give these people a
Okay.
chance.
Is that that's the dude from Walking Dead. I like the look. Hey, that's Eddie from It.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets
Okay.
real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all.
Okay,
One superpower.
that's some humor that works.
Everybody chooses flight. You know
Ah, nice.
fly away from this conversation. No, because heroes fly.
Establishing the universe. And that's how I love how like see like the point of view of a kid that actually looks up to these heroes. Nice. It's good to see that he's got some heart and he's not just like that edgy brat kid. Stands up for the little guy already, even without the powers.
Hello?
Ooh.
Oh, your
Hmm.
name, sir. Wait, for real? Okay. Shazam?
I love that they're playing with there's kind of some self-aware humor. Dude. Yes. This is what I was hoping for.
That's crazy, right? Superpowers, dude. I don't even know how to pee in this thing. Can you fly?
That the floss, the fact that he did the floss, but that just kills it.
Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged. The hell? You're like a bad guy, right?
Mark Strong. I don't. I- Dude, he plays off being a giant child so perfectly.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
It's probably just because like the bar has been set so low with these movies that I'm probably overreacting to this movie. But I'm almost tearing up with the tone and the just the sheer fun factor that I'm getting from that movie. Like I said earlier, I've never been a huge fan of that character, but man, I love the way they're playing it off. Like Zachary Levi is really pulling out the stops there, acting like he is still a child in that adult body of there. I think the only thing that kind of is a little off-putting about the transformation or the adult form is like the shoulders look off to me in that suit. Like I feel like because obviously it's padded, but it looks like the shoulders are just a little over padded. So it's a little distracting, but aside from that, it looks great. I don't know what villain Mark Strong's playing. Like, I'm surprised. I know that they confirmed casting The Rock as Black Adam, and that eventually they were going to be doing a Black Adam standalone movie. But that's like Shazam's biggest counterpart, because he was the previous Shazam who eventually left his post because I guess I can't remember what exactly his reasons were, but he was the previous Shazam, and he just his ideals changed, or something changed his view on the world, and he kind of just turned into a rogue villain. I don't know if he was more of an anti-hero or if he was just straight a villain, because I would find it weird that The Rock would want to play a villain character where he likes to, at least again since the Scorpion King, but play like a non-heroic character, which is another reason, like, I don't know how you'd center a whole movie around him by himself. I mean, it's The Rock, but I mean, the character himself, I don't see how they would go about that unless it was like a prequel about how he fell. So I'm kind of hoping that The Rock will be in this as kind of like the backdoor true villain at the end. Because like with Batman, you want to see the Joker. The Joker is defined as Batman's arch nemesis. Like, he's got all this rogues gallery of villains, but the one that really pulls out the best of Batman and the worst of Batman and has that interaction is the Joker. You got Batman or the Joker. You've got Superman and Lex Luthor. Just people that are polar ends of the spectrum, or symbiotic in their relationship together in a way. And then Black Adam is that character for Shazam, at least based on my knowledge of the comics and whatnot. But man, this looks like a fun movie. This is what DC needs, and having just watched the Aquaman trailer, again, hopeful, reserving my expectations so that I am not let down again. Fool me 4 times, shame on me. Fool me 7 more times, still shame on me. Like, I'm trying not to get my hopes up about these movies, but so far everything I've read, everything I've seen, and with these trailers from this weekend, I have high hopes that these will not suck, because I don't want them to. I love DC, and seeing them constantly get this wrong hurts. But if they both suck, at least I have Marvel's Captain Marvel and Infinity War 4 to look forward to get my fun, successful fill of the superhero comic book world. But I want to see DC finally get their feet set in the ground and stand tall once again, like they used to. Anyway, God, I can't get that image of him doing the floss out of my head. That is... Anyway, thank you all for stopping in. We got a couple other trailers to check out, and then we got the last day of Comic-Con tomorrow. And I'm not sure what's on the schedule for tomorrow as far as panels and releases. But hopefully we get some more trailers to check out, and I'll catch you all later.